Okay. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Um, we are continuing with our playthrough of Andromeda 6 since we have finished all of the released chapters. We're starting with the DLC. Um, the first one is called Tea Time with Oppo. And you'll see the premise as we get into it. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for finding this. I will include a link in the description for the YouTube video for people who want to actually buy the DLC and experience all the options. With this one, there really isn't a whole lot of options, but they're funny, and it gives you some insight into the Andromeda Six crew from an outside perspective. So that's fun. There is another DLC I will be playing now as well. The game itself is free. The DLC are not. So the game you don't have to pay anything, but of course they welcome donations. The DLC you have to pay for if you want to buy it, if you want to play it yourself. So let's get started. Yes. Just a warning, there will be alcohol used. You are not playing your character from the original game here. You're playing an Arcnos yourself. And you can still choose your pronouns because you're actually interacting with Oppo. So, nomadic species by nature, the reptilian Arcnos are masters of trade, using their forked tongues to acquire both items and precious secrets. Tea time with Oppo. The light of the setting sun basks the clay domes of the buildings surrounding me in a warm glow. I stop in the street among the crowds of people hurrying past me and take a moment to admire it. Where I come from, we don't have buildings like this. Everything here is clustered and close together. I've never seen so many people in one place. I grew up on the vast expanse of Turanian deserts. My family would travel between cities and towns, trading our wares as we went. It feels a little strange to think that life is over for me, and a new one is now beginning. Come, Sylvia, hurry! There is one last place to see. Pushing my way through the crowd, I keep Oppo in my sights and follow them, taking care not to get myself lost. The task is easy enough, as Arcnos stand a good few inches higher than even the tallest humans around us. I follow Oppo for a way until the crowd starts thinning out and the sky darkens overhead. I'm glad to have someone to guide me through Nostrega. I'd hate to get lost in all the chaos. There it is. Look, this is Oppo's favorite place. Bouncing around, I'm surprised to see a place like this right on the outskirts of the capital city. It reminds me of the cacti fields in the desert, the ones we would often camp next to. Out there, the cacti were a sign that an oasis was close by. Most of the plants themselves were edible, a vital resource for desert dwellers like my family. With a wide smile, I pace through the clumps of cacti, stretching on and on towards the base of the Rocky Mountains in the distance. I take in a deep breath and let the sight warm my heart. It's a little piece of home, right here in the big city. My family will be sleeping underneath these very same stars. I wonder if they're thinking of me. Apple's place is not far from here. Miss Sylvia can come and visit whenever she wants. Okay, so gotta pull out my trusty dice here. I forgot that there would be choices. Okay, come on, open. Open. Yeah, I win. Okay. So I have a D6, because there's 3 options. Okay, so 1 or 4, first option, 2 or 5, middle option, 3 or 6, the last option. 4. I smile at them gratefully. It was nice of them to take the time to show me this place, and it's somewhere that I'd like to return to. Oppo has been a friend of my family's for many years, so when they offered to take me in and show me the ropes around here, it was hard to refuse. Okay, same thing. 1 or 4, first option, 2 or 5, second option, 3 or 6, third option. Where'd it go? Landed on my keyboard. 5. We had passed by Nochega before during our travels, but we never stayed longer than a day or two. Seeing it up close and personal for the first time, and knowing that this is my new home, makes me feel excited for the first time in a long time. So many opportunities await me here, and I can't wait to seize them all. Let's go home, Sylvia. We can talk about your future here in Nochega over a pot of nice hot tea, yes? Trying to remember to emphasize the S's is interesting. This background looks familiar, I'm sure. I follow Oppo back towards their bar, the Arc. Their home is situated right next door, giving them easy access to their business and the main hub of the city. The streets are still filled with people, and I remember Oppo once telling me that the city rarely sleeps. That sounds familiar. Some of these people will be heading home to their families after a long day of work, and for others, their day is only just beginning. The sounds of music and revelry spilling out from the Arc makes it clear that it's a popular place, and for its patrons, the night is young. Oppo leads me around the back of the building and to a small wooden door that leads to their home. As we step into the building and descend the stone stairs that curve down into an underground space, I'm surprised that the sounds of the city outside all but disappear. This is Oppo's home. Miss Sylvia will stay here until she finds a place of her own, yes? I take in my new accommodations. The place is cozy, filled with furniture, cushions, and trinkets. Most of it is in one large room, divided into different spaces. There's a kitchen with a small dining area, a living area, and a makeshift bedroom behind a bunch of old curtains. Oppo shows me past one of 2 curtains that lead to smaller spaces. This one a storeroom of sorts, the other a bathing room. A small cot has been set up for my use. This will be my home until I'm able to make my own way in the world. Okay, same thing. 1 or 4, first option, 2 or 5, middle option, 3 or 6, third option. 1. I'm sure I'll be very comfortable here. Oppo hisses happily, clearly proud of their home and the way they've styled it. Oppo is happy to hear it. If there's anything Sylvia needs, she only has to ask. Take a seat. Oppo will make us some tea. I do as instructed, heading out to the living area and making myself comfortable on a couple of cushions around a large coffee table, while Oppo busies himself in the kitchen. A few glowing chips lay scattered over the surface of the table catch my eye. I've never seen anything like them before. Reaching out, I pick up one of the chips and inspect it closely. It's cool to the touch, and when I hold it in front of my face, a small hollow projection begins playing. There are figures in the image, one of whom I recognize as Oppo. Seems like a video of some sort. Intrigued, I continue watching. So this is what's so fun about it. It's Bash! You sure you really want to do this? Oh yes, Oppo is ready. It's your funeral. What? Nothing. Good luck. Here she comes. Bash, what's going? Oh, Oppo, you're here too. Miss Fiona, Oppo is so very happy you came. Did you like the gift we left for you? You mean the box of candied crickets? Those were from you? I should have known. The snort escapes Bash, who claps his metallic hand over his mouth to stifle it. Fiona narrows her golden eyes at him before turning back to Oppo. Thank you for the gift, Oppo. They were lovely. Oppo beams at her, and their forked tails come softly hissing between their teeth. Then all of a sudden they take a knee, coming eye to eye with the Talari. Riona glances at Bash in alarm, who simply waggles his eyebrows in amusement. Apple would like to ask. Apple is so nervous all of a sudden. They clear their throat and compose themselves as best they can. Apple would like to ask for you, Miss Riona Guinevere Manhattan, to be their wife. Apple produces a bouquet of strange flowers from behind their back. Holding them out towards Riona, she wrinkles her nose at the central scent, her mouth hanging half open in surprise. Excuse me? Apple would like, no, stop. I heard you the first time. I'm just surprised. I'm flattered, Uncle. I really am. But I'm sorry. I can't marry you. Miss Riona doesn't like Apple? I like you very much, but I want to one day marry someone that I love. You understand that, don't you? Oh, she looks so sad. Yes, no. You and I are friends, Oppo. Nothing more. Oppo hangs her head in defeat, the flower bouquet falling limply at their side as they hiss sadly. Oppo understands. The monkey orchids are beautiful. How did you know they were one of my favorites? Riona takes the flowers from their hand and inspects the unusual blooms with a small smile. Oppo's eyes slide to Bash sheepishly. Oh, I see. So you helped them set this all up, did you? Bash's lips pull into a tight line, attempting to smother his amusement as Riona advances on him. Well, you see, they were so determined to ask you, I figured it should be a special moment. Just wait until the next time you need medical aid, Sebastian. We'll see how funny you think this all is then. Bash gulps as his eyes follow her departure before facing Apple once more. Don't worry about it, Apple. You wouldn't be happy with her anyway. Disagree with her once, and she'd most likely poison your breakfast with one of those weird little plants she grows in her room. Apple pales considerably, looking much less confident than they did minutes before. Yeah, if you talk to Riona, that one time when you can either stay on the bridge, go to the docks, or just wander towards down a hallway, you'll talk to Riona and you find out she grows poisonous plants in her med bay. Safely, but they are poisonous. You know the necklace around her neck? Rumor has it that she carries the antidote to all of her worst poisons around in it. Apple does not feel so good anymore. I know just what'll cheer you up. Let's swing by the arch, shall we? I'll take a bottle of that orange one right there. In fact, let's make it 2. The bartender sets 2 bottles of a glowing orange liquid in front of Bash, who pours a couple of glasses for Apple and himself. See, isn't this great, Apple? Just 2 singles enjoying life without a care in the world. He downs his drink and pours another, urging Apple to do the same. Mr. Bash makes a good point. Apple has a good life. They don't need a wife at all. No. What was Apple thinking? That's the spirit. Let's have some fun tonight and forget all about weddings and proposals and beautiful Tulare women with golden eyes and soft blue skin and hair like moonlight. Yes, Bash has it bad. Excuse me. Just like the moon. Apple should have said this. Oh, why didn't Apple say this? Snap out of it. Tonight is about us. Let's make the most of it. Sometime later. Isn't this great? How about another drink? Apple, no, you can't fit in that bubble. Oh, yes, Apple can. They have done it before. Bash takes the wrench from his back pocket, waving it in the air as he pushes himself up on the stage. He knows that Apple's eyes have changed. They are both drunk. They are sloshed. Hold up. We're coming too. And all in the goblet and crossword. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. If Mr. Bash is sure, positive. Besides, how can we possibly lose? You own the place. She doesn't know what she's missing out on. Who wouldn't want to marry an Arcnos like you? You're the whole package, Oppo. No, not Oppo. Mr. Bash is the cat. Anyone would be lucky to marry him. You know what, Oppo? I totally marry you. Why would we need anyone else when we have each other? Oppo knows the place. I hear people say you should marry your best friend. Mr. Bash is Oppo's best friend. And Oppo, Mr. Bash is, my best friend. But what's a wedding without friends? Let me just send out a quick video. Next day. Oh, what happened last night? Dash stumbles from his room, holding his pounding head in his hands, while Riona attempts to push her lips in a disappointment. It doesn't take long for her amusement to break through. But first, you and I will almost drink the entire bar dry. Let's see, what else? She makes a face and marks back, crossing her arms over her chest. She's having far too much fun with this. Oh yes, you make fools of yourself in the bubbles above the strip club and lost a good deal of money at the casino. And then, and this is the really good part, you sent us all a hollow bit inviting us to your wedding. Bash's eyes widen on her, his expression pleading. Did I please tell me I didn't marry Oppo? Rihanna stays quiet for a good few moments, letting him suffer. Luckily for you, June tracked you down and held you out of there in time. The others were content with watching you go through with it. And I almost flipped them. You're welcome, by the way. Ugh, I'm never drinking again. What is this? What are you doing? Okay, so odd number first option, even number second option. 2. I didn't know what they were. It is very embarrassing for Oppo, but they shouldn't have left them lying around. It is not your fault. Oppo made some ruby cacti tea. Here you go, drink up. Oppo pours the sparkling ruby tea into 2 teacups, and I gratefully take one of them. The porcelain warms my hands as I sip the sweet drink, watching them with curiosity. So, odd number first option, even number second option. 1. Well, yes, those were Oppo's fondest memories. Oppo has many friends, but the Anteater crew are special. They have helped Oppo many times, and Oppo is grateful. I don't know if people remember this, but Oppo has trouble remembering the name of the ship. Can I see another one? Oppo thinks for a moment, their cup of tea held between their long fingers as they debate the idea. All right, Sylvia may watch another, but Oppo chooses this time. I nod with a smile, thinking that was fair enough. I'm curious to learn more about these people that Oppo is so fond of. Picking out one of the chips, they hand it over, and when I take it, another projection begins to play. A small ball whizzes through the air, past between the 2 men who sit nonchalantly on the opposite ends of the stage. So, I joined a mercenary crew. Joined a mercenary crew, have you? What can I say? Easy money for an easy job. Plus, I get my own room. Greg snorts and shakes his head, sending the ball flying back towards Damon with increasing speed. You're too easy, man. I go where the money is, simple as that. Damon shrugs and catches the ball with ease, tossing it up in the air a few times. His sharp blue eyes fix on the man across the room. His friend, you might say, whose own memorized eyes follow the ball lazily. Maybe we shouldn't be throwing that thing around in here. Wouldn't want to set the Arcnos on edge. His gaze cuts to the large crystal ball spread around the room at varying heights. Usually they're strong enough to hold one of the club's many dancers, but now that they're empty, they seem a lot more fragile. Can you guess where this is going? Are you trying to tell me that you can't catch a ball in a brightly lit room while sober? Damn, some shitty sniper you must be. That's not what I'm saying. Sure, you can't catch it. I get it. Of course I can fucking catch it. I can take anything you throw at me. Then quit whining, dumbass. Without warning, Damon hurls the ball at Vex, who catches it with a grunt and a glare. You're a dipshit. I know. It's one of my many lovable qualities. You sure Oppo doesn't mind us being here? Probably, but they're busy in the city, so what are they gonna do about it? Besides, I gotta stick around if I have any hope of getting paid, and your ride ain't leaving anytime soon. Alright, but this is getting boring. Damon nods slowly, the ghost of a smirk pulling at his lips. He catches the ball again in one swift motion and slides off the stage, heading for the far wall. Let's up the challenge, shall we, before I fall asleep completely. Then go take a nap. I don't have time to test our luck around here, and you always get carried away. Sleep on my own? Hard pass. I'd rather wait till tonight so I can find a nice body to warm my bed. Wow, you haven't changed a bit. Don't worry, Carrot Head. I'll help you find someone to warm your bed, too, if you stick around. As if I'd need your help with that. Throwing the ball with renewed force, Vex's face tightens up the snicker that escapes Damon. Aw, look at little Vexy all grown up. I'm older than you, idiot. Damon holds the ball against his chest, sucking in a breath as his face twists into an expression of false shock. Oh my, you don't say. And here I thought your skin was getting all dry and wrinkly because you've been out of the water for too long, merman. He's a Catalpan, or at least part Catalpan. I can't remember if he's full Catalpan or not. I am definitely full Catalpan. Oh, now you're just asking for it. Heads up, Ariel. Vex's eyes widen at the sudden interruption, caught between launching himself at the man across the room and awkwardly shooting his hands out for the ball Damon had just thrown at him. Within the span of a few seconds, the ball ricochets off of Vex's fingertips and hurls towards the nearest glass bubble, shattering it into a million pieces. Yes, we knew that was going to happen the moment we realized that they were throwing a ball around in this room. The image turns bright as a waterfall of glass cascades from the ceiling, seaweed, spilling shards over both the stage and the floor. The two men watch, horrified, until the last shard falls with a clink on top of all the others. Shit! The word falls from Vex's lips in a whisper, his gaze still firmly fixed on the mess they'd made of Oppo's strip club. When the sound of laughter echoes through the space towards him, his eyes snap to Damon, completely beside himself with laughter. Dude, you suck at playing catch. Look at the mess you've made. Me? This isn't my fault. You're the one who hurled that thing at me with no warning. No warning? You're the moron who said you could catch any ball I threw at you. This one's on you. Typical Ben. Are you fucking kidding? Don't pin this on me. Damon's laughter eases up a little as he fixes the other man with a provoking stare. I told you it was all right if you couldn't catch it. It's a shame you were too arrogant to admit it. Vex throws his arms up in exasperation, his mouth pulling into a tight line. I was on my way to kick your ass, not like I could do that from a distance. See, now that's called karma. Karma's gonna be my fist in your face if you don't help me fix this. I say we just fish through the back door. Oppo will never know it was. Oh, great. Vex follows Damon's eyeline to the red curtains that separate the club from the bar, apprehension clear in his eyes. What is happening in... What have you done? Apple gulps at the mess all over the floor, eyes wide and tongue hissing between their teeth. Damon and Vex exchange a panicked look before one of them finally speaks up. A bunch of brats threw a ball through the window. We couldn't catch it in time. Damon gives him a pointed look, his fist clenched and his disappointment clear. Oh, well, Oppo did see some children outside earlier. It may have been. Wait, there are no windows in this room. Out of all the lies you could have come up with, I swear. What? You weren't in a rush to say anything. I had to do something. See, this is why Zolak always had me doing the talking jobs. Just shut up and sit down, will you? My bad, Oppo. Our friend here is not particularly athletically inclined, as it seems. Vex sighs and mutters under his breath, glaring at the back of Damon's head darkly. We'll pay for the damage. Just tell us how much. Oppo's smile turns devious, their fingers interlocking as their eyes flicker between the two men. Oppo knows just how you can pay for it. Oh, yes. Later that day, the mid-afternoon sun beats down on the sandy streets of Las Vegas, sending its inhabitants fleeing indoors, seeking the cool respite offered by the shade. Well, I will then but two. Damon kneels near the shady outside walls of the ark, tending to Oppo's garden, while Vex takes the full brunt of the sun as he hammers a few nails to a plank covering a small window. Sweat beads on his forehead as he sets the final nail in place before rolling up his sleeves with a frown. Finally done with this crap. How is it fair that you get the easy job and I'm stuck over here in the sun? Easy. This garden is a goddamn mess. I don't think Oppo tended to it even once, but I can't blame them. The soil is nothing but sand. Vex tosses the hammer aside and leans against the wall, taking a brief solstice in the shade. Fuck this. I'm taking a break. Took the words right out of my mouth. Damon leans back against the wall, his legs spread in front of him and bathes in sunlight. His eyes flutter shut for a moment as he stretches out like a lazy cat, readying itself for a nap. At least the sun is nice now. It amazes me how much a person like you enjoys the sun. That's exactly why I like it, I suppose. We hardly had a sunny day on Cursa, and when we did, it was barely warm. Maybe I'm just making up for it. Can't wait to retire and move my ass to a nice place by the beach. Aren't you a bit young to be thinking about retirement? You're never too young to think of that. Hell, I never expected to make it off Cursa in the first place. Why not make all my dreams come true? Vex snorts and the silence between them stretches until he decides to put his thoughts into words. You been in touch with her lately? Elisa? Yeah, sure. We met a couple of months back before he took on this new gig. Vex clears his throat loudly and snickers, earning a dark glare from Damon in response. What? I didn't say anything. You didn't have to. Yeah. Whatever you say, lover boy. Damon glowers and stays quiet for a while, twisting the dog tags around his neck between his fingers. His dark hair seems to absorb the sunlight that hits it as it swings in the gentle breeze, so stark against the brightness of his surroundings. You really taking that job for Zobak? Vex pulls his bottom lip between his teeth, squinting against the sun. Someone has to. You know as well as I do that the Pegasus needs to fall. So, anyone want to take a guess what this job is that they're talking about? Yeah, but even I can see the flaws in that class. Why not just kill that old bastard Fenris? It's not like the Queens would be able to do shit about it. Hell, they'd probably thank him. And do what with the Crown Council and the heirs? You can't just run in there guns blazing, or knives in your case. These things take time, probably why I get the job to me in the first place. I think I'm trying to remember. I think there's a reference somewhere in the game where Damon hints about the job, like when he's talking to Vex. I'd have to go back and look at him. And I don't want to right now. Damon snickers, giving Vex a sidelong glance. Yeah, keep telling yourself that if he asked me to assassinate the king, I'd have gladly taken the job. What a waste of time mapping out the palace. Well, lucky you're not the one doing it then, isn't it? Lucky is right. Let's face it, Sobek's thirst for power is turning him mad. I don't know why you bother doing anything for him. Some of us don't have the luxury of doing things simply because we want to. Vex started working for Zovek because he promised to help him get his parents back. We know how that turned out. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Just don't go having too much fun with the royal brats. Or do. I'd love to swing by and join in on the fun, if you get my meaning. A bark of laughter escapes Vex, who shakes his head in disbelief. Now, since we never meet the Traveler, it doesn't have to be the one that we're playing for the live stream. It can be any Traveler you want. As if any royal would slum it with the likes of you. How little they know. At least I know how to turn people, unlike you. Don't tell me you forgot about that time when you... Will you let that go already? You love these hints that they have a long past. Like, there's so much... They don't have to finish saying things, and the other person already knows what they're talking about. Vex hurls a small rock at Damon, who dodges it and falls to the side, holding his stomach as he laughs with the scowl on his friend's face. I am never going to let you live that down, Carrot Head. Vex eyes the hammer, determined to shut him up one way or another, before the back door of the bar creaks open and Oppo appears, grinning at the pair of them. Oppo has come to see how the work is going. All done, we hope? That thing you call a garden is ready. I did what I could, but I don't know if there's any hope of anything surviving that sandbox. And the windows are almost done. There's one left to go, but you've run out of planks. There are some logs over here in an axe as well. You can... No, I don't think so. We're sorry about your bubble, Oppo, but we've done enough already. And besides, my ride will be here soon. We should really... Where the hell did he go now? Oh, you want some pets, do you? Are you enjoying this then? Good boy. David's dirty secret. He's a cat person. Vex turns, finding Damon crouched in the sand with a bright smile on his face. A large space blue cat rolls on his back in front of him, belly up and ready to be petted. You've got to be kidding me. Vex shakes his head at the scene, half amused as he uses his shirt to dab at the beads of sweat on his face. Oppo, why didn't you tell me you had this good boy hanging around before? That little thing is not mine. No. Oppo beats it now and then, but it comes and goes at will. So you're a free bird, are you kidding? Just like me. A free bird? Weird. There's no bird. That's a cat. Which is much better than a bird. You know what? I should get a cat. I wonder how big of a fit Blondie would throw. Damon plays with the cat without a care in the world, while the others continue on. There is still so much work to be done. I've told you we've done enough. Why don't you get one of your junk bots to do your chores? They do not listen to Oppo. A low meow breaks the silence. The cat leaves tiny footprints in the sand as it bounds off down the street. Damon stands, watching it fondly as he brushes the sand from his pants. Let's just finish the last window before we head off. And Oppo, I wouldn't push Vex if I were you. You know, he's a loose cannon. No offense. How is that not offensive? See what I mean? Shut up and chop that wood if you're so intent on getting this done. Okay, chopped wood coming right up. Damon heads over to the log pile, swinging the axe between his fingers a couple of times to judge its weight before making the first and terrifyingly precise swing. Effortlessly, he tosses the blanket back, catches it with ease, and begins to hammering it in place over the last window. Apple relaxes, happy to spectate and bask in the sun a little, their tails swaying happily as they do so. Once the work is done, Apple will fix you up with some nice cold drinks and an ear-piercing scream breaks out of the Arcnos, and Vex holds the hammer high, searching for the phantom threat. Damon, on the other hand, seems torn between utter shock and uncontrollable urge to laugh as Apple grabs her tail with the hammer, the tip of it completely gone. You chopped Apple's tail! And you think I'm the loose cannon? My tail! You were putting it right next to the chopping block. What do you think was going to happen? Oppo's beautiful scaly tail is gone, chopped right off. Way to name your friends, Staff Happy. Well, it's not like it's gone forever. You're the Arcnos. It'll grow back soon enough. Think of it like a haircut. You got rid of the old ends, and now it'll grow back better. Beck snorts and slaps a hand over his mouth to keep from bursting out in laughter. Oppo really liked this tail. Does it hurt? No, I mean, yes, it hurts so very much. Oppo holds their tail to their chest over their heart, and both men give them a guilty look. I think we should probably leave before we do any more damage. It was very nice seeing you again, Oppo. Yes, lovely place you have here. But I am afraid we'll end our day in another bar. Oh, no, we won't. I've got a ship to catch, in case you've forgotten. You've got time for a drink or two before you head out? Well, one drink won't hurt. Who knows when we'll see each other again, right? Now that's the spirit. We know when we'll see each other again. Damon grabs his jacket, walking backwards as he waves goodbye to Oppo. Beck throws a quick wave over his shoulder, and the two of them quickly dash him out before creating any more havoc. See ya, Oppo. Sorry for, well, everything. Oppo sighs as they lean down, picking at the tip of their tail and staring at it longingly. Third time this decade. Why does Oppo's tail refuse to stay attached? The memory comes to an end, and I can't request that Oppo's tail, which is perfectly fine now that it has grown back completely. I never expected Oppo to be friends with anyone like those two men in the memory. Okay, so odd number first option, even number second option. 4. Are they really friends of yours? Oh, yes. Oppo has known them for many years, so Oppo has not seen one of them in a long, long time. How did you meet in the first place? Oppo stops to think for a moment, pressing the tip of their fingers together as they do so. It is a long story. It started when Oppo first met Captain Lynch and Miss Aya, who were looking to trade a ship. Ah, yes, Oppo has a memory of those two right here, along with Mr. June. You take another hollow chip from the table and hold it out to me, palm up. Tiny device glows strangely against their skin. Intrigued by the prospect of seeing another memory, I take it, watching closely as the projection begins to play. So yeah, we've seen Brianna and Dash, Damon and Vex, and now Calderon, June, and Aya. What do you mean we can't keep it? Ayame glares from between the two men, her violet eyes fierce. Calderon narrows his sapphire eyes with equal ferocity, while June takes a step back, knowing better than to interfere. I mean, what I said, Aya, no animals on the ship, period. If I wouldn't let Damon get a cat, why would I make an exception now? Damon wanted to get a bloody tiger. That's not the same thing as a cat, and you know it. The rule still stands. June sighs forlornly. It's obvious that neither one of the others is going to back down anytime soon. It seems like he'd have to be the deciding factor between them. It's all right, Aya. It's our ship. We'll quit that sorry-ass act, will you? It's his ship, but we're a team. Decisions should be discussed. And let's not forget how we got the ship in the first place. Really? You're really going to bring that up right here, right now? Ayame folds her arms over her chest and grumbles quietly to herself. Fine, if this isn't an important decision, then I guess there's no point in arguing. Captain relaxes his shoulders and nods firmly, considering the decision to be final. Good, that settles it then. Of course, she's coming with us. Ayame, what? You're the one who said this wasn't an important decision. If it ain't, there's no need to get your panties in a bunch. And June really, really, really likes her. Are you honestly happy to be the bad guy here? Calderon utters something incomprehensible, while June simply chuckles softly. I wouldn't have phrased it like that way, but I really do like the little thing. See? And she's such a good girl. That little monster has tried biting you at least 3 times in the last 5 minutes. You're really saying you want that on the ship where you sleep? She'll grow to like me, you'll see. She's just scared there are so many people around her. Or maybe your ugly look is upsetting her. Catherine gives her a tired look, but decides better than to argue any further. I have to admit she's been pretty friendly towards June. Duh, who isn't? June holds up the small animal he's been coddling on the table, and Ayame rushes to his side. It's a small lizard. Its big, beady eyes shine as bright as topazonite, and its small, grabby hands clutch tightly onto June's fingers. Its scaly tail dangles over his arm, and it seems content. Come on, Captain, you can't say her cute little face doesn't hit you right in the heartstrings. And there she is. Look, even Kyle's got a smile on his face. He's not entirely immune. I, whatever purchase Kyle's about to give dies on his lips, a small smile tugging at the corners of his mouth when the tiny lizard blinks at him, cracking its head to the side. Stop looking at me like that, you little vermin. Don't talk to her like that, you'll hurt her feelings. Amy coos at the little lizard, softly caressing its scaly head. Please, let us keep her. Look at her little face. Can you really say no to that? Don't you start. It'd take a monster. And you're not a monster, are you? Whose side are you on? The other one's mouth pulls into a tight line, the corners twitching ever so slightly as he struggles to hold back a smile when June lifts the tiny lizard closer to him. Naomi's puppy eyes seal the deal, and eventually his resolve cracks. With a tired sigh, his shoulders drop in defeat. Fine, we'll keep it. Naomi squeals in delight, rushing forward to squeeze Catherine in a head that looks almost comical, given the height difference between them. Let me see. I have it written down. Uh, yeah, she's at 165 centimeters, and he's 193. So if you figure a meter is about 3 feet, because a meter stick and a yardstick are the same. Um, uh, she's, that's almost, she's 5 foot something, and he's over 6 foot. So yeah. The captain doesn't seem to mind, smiling fondly at the cacophon when she lets him go and skips closer to June and the tiny lizard. The lizard climbs June's arms with ease, circling his shoulders until it settles over them, its tail dangling from one side while its head rests on the other. God damn it, Damon is going to be pissed. I'll never hear the end of it. Well, he gets to play with this little cutie if he wants to. It's not like Damon particularly dislikes any animal. He'll be fine. You're not the ones who have to listen to him pestering me for a cat. Next thing I know, there'll be an entire bloody zoo on board. Just make up some excuse say lizards don't shed fur. That's actually a good excuse, and true, which is all the more surprising coming from you. Shut up, I never lie. Now that's a lie right there. I like that we get to see them more relaxed. We get a bit more of their dynamic without the traveler coming along and mucking things up. The curtain behind the bar flutters as it's pushed aside and Oppo appears, giving the three of them an easy smile. Ah, Avocado Crew, you're still here. Calderon's face falls at the name, but he says nothing, already given up on correcting the Arcnos. Oppo was making their lunch, but it seems to have gotten away again. They lean down to inspect the cabinets beneath the bar, searching behind bottles and glasses for whatever they had lost. trying to cook something alive again? Because that's seriously nasty, Apple. The little devil deserves it this time. Apple swears it. It took Apple a while to catch. Apple is not as quick as they used to be, but the little devil was finally secure. No more destroying Apple's things. It has made one final desperate attempt to escape, but I'll find it then. And then Apple trailed off, their eyes narrowing on the lizard sitting comfortably on June's shoulder. Me? The beast on your shoulders. I dare you. The lizard? You've got to be kidding me. She's the cutest thing ever. You're going to eat a lizard? That sounds kind of wrong, doesn't it? The things it has done, a nightmare, a demon, a monster clad in tiny lizard armor. What did she do to deserve such an accusation? Murder someone? It can't have been that bad. No, much worse than that. Much worse than murder, honestly. An eerie silence followed their words, all three of them anxiously waiting to learn what could possibly be worse than taking a life. It ate Apple's neck. How is that worse than murder? My expectations were low, but that was even lower. I'm not even surprised. Apple is very serious, and it sits on your shoulders. Be careful, it must be trying to eat your brains. Apple, she likes me. She'd never do that. As I was in my team, I think June's right. It only tried to bite Ian so far. I'm sure she'll warm up to me in no time. You might even grow to like your grumpy ass, Cal. As eloquent as ever. Thank you, Ayane. Point is, I won't let you eat her. It is a trick. Hand it over nice and easy. I think Apple will season it well. Plenty for all of us. Apple raises her hands, making a beeline for the lizard until June slaps them away gently. He points a finger in their face, his eyes stern. You will not hurt Izzy. Apple pulls their hands back and whimpers, eyes wide at the sight of the unusual green sheen across June's eyes for the briefest of moments. And of course, having played through the game, we know what that means. I see why the demon likes you. You're as scary as it is. Apple's words have covered on Ayame, breaking out into smiles. Both unaware of the green haze that had been the cause of Apple's distress. One second. So come on. My cat was playing at the door. And he left. Nice little cat. He'll be back. We wouldn't have to get angry if you didn't try to eat her. But I'm glad we're clear now. You won't eat her, and we'll be taking her with us. Win-win situation, wouldn't you say? If you say so. Say so, there you go. I mean, I know June is big and can look scary, but you're not really afraid of him, are you? They're probably scared of the lizard getting into any more of their snacks. That makes more sense. June clears his throat, gently petting the lizard on his shoulder, who seems to thoroughly enjoy the attention. It stretches his neck until all its bright-colored scales are visible, shining metallic under the fluorescent lights. Can I hold her next, June? Please, 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 please. Please do, June. Maybe we'll get lucky. Then we'll bite off her tongue. Then we'll finally get a moment of peace. Now that's just rude. I can dream, can't I? Lies, you'd miss my wonderful voice terribly. As long as you're not singing. What? I have you know I'm an excellent singer. Oppo, a little backup here, please. Oppo stops from where they were quietly backing away, their scales slowly regaining some of the color they've lost after the confrontation with June. Oppo's patrons do like to watch you dance, Miss Aya, but singing, there is the reason why Oppo is no longer holds karaoke night. You may be able to stop me from singing at your bar, but nothing will keep me from blessing the crew with my nightingale voice on the ship. I need my sleep, and if you know what's good for you, you'll let me sleep in peace. Sucks to be you, doesn't it? We have a spot available in the club if you would like to part ways with the open, Captain Lynch. A fine dancer she is. I'm not a bug. Unleash the lizard on you, Oppo. No, no, no. There is no need. The tiny demon will like her soon enough, with all that evil in her heart. Oppo whispers the last sentence, but not quietly enough for Alma to miss. She beams at them in response. Of course she'll like me. Everyone likes me, silly. Don't worry, Aya. I'm sure she's just as scared about meeting so many people at once. The demon fears nothing. Stop calling her demon, Oppo. It's not her name. That's right. Her name is Elizabeth. Lizzie for short. Suits her, don't you think? Cute and fun. Not the words Oppo would use. It suits her perfectly. Lizzie, the Andromeda Six's good girl. It is not a girl. If Mr. June is going to take the demon lizard, he must know it is a boy. Oh, well, the name still stays. He seems to like it, too. As if in response, Lizzie smiles on June's shoulder, puffing up his neck when they all turn to look at him. Look at it. Look at it. Less than a day with us, and it's already showing it's a little attention grabber. That's how he lures in his victims. Funny, that's how Aya does it, too. Hey, what we lack in size, we make up for awesomeness. Are you honestly comparing your size to a lizard? Shush, us little ones have to stick together in a universe filled with ridiculously tall people like you two. I'm with Aya. I'm probably shorter than any of the Andromeda Six crew. I'm not even 5 feet. They all laughed, even Oppo, who now stands a considerably safe distance away from both June and Lizzie. All that aside, we have business to attend to here. We should make haste. Oh yeah, I almost forgot during all the excitement. Also, are there any mechanics around that we can hire? Naomi has been handling the ship's repair, but it's not exactly her area of expertise. I could definitely use a hand with that, or two if they can handle it themselves. Echo might have just the man for the job. They rummaged through some papers behind the bar, Trunks looking through their teeth until they pull out a wrinkled, stained sheet. Here it is. A nice man. Very nice. You'd all love him, just like Oppo does. Oppo hands the information to Calderon, who wrinkles his nose at the sorry state of it. You can find him at that address. The arena is just across town. Thank you. We'll take a look. Oppo is always glad to help the Aniseed crew. Ooh, that's a great name for a drink. Let Oppo write this down. Thanks for this little guy here, Oppo. We'll be sure to send you pictures. Please do now. You're gonna miss him, aren't you? Just admit it. See ya, Oppo. Okay, I actually said the other DLC for next week, because this is taking longer than I thought it would. The three of them head out of the bar together, found amongst themselves as they head towards the arena Oppo had given them directions to. Oppo watches them from the door as they disappear down the street and lets out a sigh. Oppo will miss eating their lunch. Hello, Damon. Don't fancy running into you out here. Decide to lose the jacket? Why not? It's my day off. I was just on my way to get some things for dinner. Do you want something specific, or what is that? His eyes widen on June, more specifically on the lizard sitting on his shoulders. It's a lizard. No shit, Sherlock. What I meant was, what the fuck is a lizard doing on your shoulders? It's a little too alive for it to be dinner. Oh no, this is Elizabeth, Lizzie for short. He's gonna come with us from now on. Isn't he just adorable? The air becomes frosty, tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. Naomi lets out an awkward chuckle as she holds up her wrist, preparing to glance at her invisible watch while she dashes away. Oh my, would you look at the time? I'd best run back to the ship. I've got to make sure the dishes are washed for dinner. See ya, Calderon. The captain says nothing, actively shifting his weight from side to side as he watches the pilot's departure through narrowed eyes. What does he mean that thing's coming with us? You wanted a pet, now we have one. You've got to be kidding me. June gets to have a lizard, and I don't get a damn cat? Lizards don't shed fur. Damon's expression showed swiftly into one of unkempt anger, earning a deep sigh from Calvin. He'd much rather not be having the discussion now, or ever. Cutting Damon's next complaint short, Calvin faked a look of surprise, eyebrows raised, as he glances at the time on his very real watch. Oh, I was right. I look at the time. I need to go and see a man about a mechanic. We'll talk later, Damon. Calderon takes a couple of slow steps backwards before turning completely and rushing off down the street. Oh, hell no. Get your ass back here, Kyle. He turns in a rage, pointing his finger at Lizzie's face, though his anger falters somewhat when the tiny lizard blinks at him. And you don't think this is over. Don't you run away from me, Blondie. Damon disappears, chasing after the captain, whose long legs have already taken him almost to the end of the street. June and Lizzie are left behind on their own, confusion and both their faces, despite the small smile that creeps on June's lips. Well, I guess that settles it. I think he likes you, Lizzie. What do you say we take a walk? We should get you some toys and a bed. Oh, I wonder what lizards eat. Do let me know if you see something you like. Isn't that adorable? That is all of Oppo's friends. We mean all of Oppo's closest friends, yes. The infamous aquarium crew. Okay. You know the drill. 1 and 4, first option. 2 and 5, second option. 3 and 6, third option. 6. Sylvia will, you'll see, in Las Vegas there are all kinds of people. One day Sylvia will find her people, just like Oppo did. Why don't you travel with your friends if you're so fond of them? They would not accept Oppo's application. Really? Oppo jokes. Oppo has the Arc and other businesses here in Las Vegas. They're happy here. Oppo was for teapot to pour another cup, so upon finding a drink, without a tired sigh. It seems that is all the tea for tonight, my friend. Sylvia should get some rest, yes? She has a big day waiting for her tomorrow. With a small nod, I say goodnight to Oppo and head off to ready myself for bed. Seeing those memories had made all of this seem a little less daunting in their own small way. I'm not the only one out in the world making a name for myself, and I'm lucky to have someone like Oppo to guide me. The future ahead of me is bright, and now more than ever, I'm ready to face whatever it will bring. And that's it. So yes, we will actually save the other DLC. No. The other one is very different in nature. I mean, this one is great because it gives you a chance to see the Andromeda Six crew before the Traveler joined them. So, of course, we do get an idea, some hints at events to come. No, I really want to do the other DLC justice, so I will save that for next week. Hope you all have fun. If you're watching this on YouTube, I feel so dumb doing this. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more of these, if you want to be alerted when they are available, make sure to hit the notification bell and change the settings on your phone. I'm doing this for fun, but I kind of like to be able to get ads on my channel. And so that's part of the reason I made sure to post the links to buy the games in the descriptions for the videos on YouTube. So if you've been following my channel, you'll notice that I made that addition, and in the description for this video will be a link to buy the DLC. And then the same for all coming videos, I will do the same thing. I recommend buying them on itch because the developers get a larger cut through itch, but they do get a cut if you go through Steam, it's just a smaller one. But either way, they will get money. But most of these I get through itch for the reason that they get a larger cut from that. I don't know what else I'm going to say. I don't have anything else to say. I'm recording this, streaming this / recording this the day before American Thanksgiving. So, just think of what you're thankful for. And if it's for family and friends, maybe go say thank you to them, especially if you haven't done it recently. Yeah, and the gallery is all these different from the memories. It's been a while since I've actually played this because, there really isn't that much variation like there is with the other games, with the base game and with the other DLC. It's still funny. You get a chance to play an Arcnos even if you don't really go, even if it's just more for flavor than anything else. So yeah, have a good day and don't forget to love each other. Bye.